Esoteric Meme Dissection Episode 1. From the Higgs Boson presentation, the infamous PowerPoint unveiling a new elementary particle key to matter existence using the Comic Sans font. A diagram of cloud seeding, a type of controversial weather modification. Steganography, there's an image hiding inside this image using steganography. A child's cry, a clue to diagnosis. A medical album documenting cries of babies with various illnesses, regarded as one of the most difficult things to listen to. The pagan owl on the US dollar bill. An image documenting the teenage message, a series of interstellar radio transmissions using a theremin and binary digital information. Mud fossils in the titans of our world, a conspiracy theory that giants walk the earth and are preserved in mountains all over the world. Chuck E. Cheese death, conspiracy that Chuck E. Cheese was replaced in the 1990s. A hypothetical flag for technocratic North Korea. SCP Foundation, a secret organization studying paranormal phenomena. Assembly language, a low-level computer language closely related to machine code, the foundation of computers. Wikipedia editor badges. This meme therefore implies that this guy contributes to Wikipedia articles about conspiracy theory adjacent topics. Esoteric Meme Breakdown Episode 2. 5-camera point cloud 3D reconstruction of 35mm film image. In Roman numeral 1, Arthur takes a photo of his family, but as seen in 1a and 2, Arthur's family takes photos of him. Knowing the metrics for camera angle, focal length, distance to object, and relative size of Arthur, and running the final images through a convolution kernel to extract more detail, the software is able to create a point cloud of Arthur. Point clouds are often precursors to making 3D meshes from photoscanned objects. This practice is called photogrammetry. This meme mildly mimics a scientific paper on the topic. Esoteric Meme Breakdown Episode 3. We Are Not the Same. You post lyrics from your grandma's version of the Little Green Valley on the Mudcat Cafe. I directly email Bill Edwards of factual inaccuracies on the Brazilian tango section of ragpiano.com. We are not the same. The Little Green Valley was a popular song written by Carson Robinson around 1928 and made famous by country singer Marty Robbins. Before recorded music was accessible, sheet music was popular, with people often modifying songs to fit their playing style. The Mudcat Cafe is a folk song database and discussion board. Ragpiano.com by Bill Edwards is a similar website for ragtime and other adjacent musical genres. The author of this meme boasts they have more clout in early 20th century music discussion circles than you do. Esoteric Meme Breakdown Episode 4. Saddam Hussein's Hiding Place. This image was created by the British Broadcasting Corporation after Hussein's capture in 2003. Hussein was a controversial Iraqi politician painted by the Bush administration as a villain behind terrorist attacks and a hoarder of quote-unquote weapons of mass destruction. I'll leave the morality of the Bush administration and Saddam Hussein to the viewer and move on to what is most interesting and relevant, the HVAC system. Only one pipe delivers fresh air to the whole. This is extremely dangerous, and HVAC systems, even ones centuries old, include a second return/exhaust duct for circulating air. Even if the hole is connected to outside air, that does not guarantee airflow since air pressure levels will stabilize rapidly. If the fan was placed over the pipe, which it is not, and able to run in both directions, that could temporarily function as an intake and exhaust, but is not recommended. The consequences of improper ventilation in a confined space range from physically uncomfortable to a death from hypoxia, or the lack of oxygen. Ironically, hypoxia had a minor probability of being the cause of how Hussein actually ended up dying. Esoteric Meme Breakdown, Episode 5, Survive2797.org. While I couldn't find any information about these websites, they are similar to known religious and conspiracy theory adjacent organizations. Survive2797.org is likely similar to theories that the world would end at a certain time, such as 2012, 1999, or the arbitrary date of a rapture. Angelsresource.net and catfishingdemons.org are similarly named to the real website and sister websites of angelsheaven.org, a UFO religion which notoriously has many associated URLs with strange titles such as universepeople.org and cosmicpeople.com. Saintedpgpkeys.ai, cyberprophecy.org, and neutrinoprometheus.net speak to a digitization of religious prophecy akin to Temple OS, a 64-bit computer operating system developed by an American man named Terry Davis from 2003 to 2013. PGP is an encryption method allowing one to send encrypted messages to another, implying that angels are among us and we can use sainted keys to communicate with them. Esoteric Meme Breakdown Episode 6. Kairos Scribe Jacobus, the Chrono-Poetic Sentinel. Not all that is covered is protected. Not all that is written is authored. A long feature set is also included in this play on the corporate LinkedIn action figures trend. Kairos is a Greek word for time with a historical connotation for that time being a critical moment. Chrono is derived from chronos, the personification of time, and a sentinel is a watchguard. Therefore, Jacobus is a guardian of poetic critical moments in time. Jacobus is an insurance underwriter. I'll come back to that. The quote at the bottom relates to his insurance company practices. Jacobus may cover you, but it is up to his discretion whether something is protected. The second part of the quote relates to an acknowledgement that the foundation of creative decision-making is human. Computers can generate text, but they have no agency, no authorship, no literature. Insurance coverage must not be dictated solely by AI. Knowing Jacobus is an insurance underwriter, that is, a person who analyzes risk and sets insurance rates, we can view this action figure as a powerful demigod born from flesh, computer, and insurance company who protects his customers from the devastating fate of improbable but extremely consequential critical events. These are sometimes referred to as long-tail events or black swan events. These events don't happen often, but when they do, can be extremely costly, such as the $4.5 billion payout to Larry Silverstein after the World Trade Center buildings were destroyed in 2001. Jacobus holds the flaming quill of transcriptive fire and the scrolls of the Mendicorum. The quill allows him to only write when his intentions serve the greater good, not just his company. Mendicorum is derived from the Latin word meaning untruthful. This codex, or list of lies, allows him to know when people are attempting to commit insurance fraud. The person who made this works at an actual insurance company, and the fact that they let him make stuff like this is pretty amazing. Esoteric Meme Breakdown, Episode 7, Them Nail He. This is an Elmo onesie on display at a thrift store, originally posted with the caption, Them Nail He, referencing a story annually retold in Christian mythology, the reanimation of Jesus Christ. The story goes that Christ was executed for blasphemy or challenging Roman authority. His crucifixion is recognized nearly universally by scholars as to actually have happened. The Christian narrative then diverges from that of historical scholars, claiming that Christ reanimated after being buried for 3 days. Elmo, a character from the TV series Sesame Street, just like how Jesus rose again, has the power to reanimate when a child puts on the onesie and wears Elmo's skin, allowing Elmo to rise again and spread Elmo's message of empowering children to try, fail, and ultimately succeed in exploring new activities. Esoteric Meme Breakdown, Episode 8, When You Ball and She Still Inhale Your Coker. This is a Ural 4320, a Russian all-purpose all-wheel drive 6x6 truck manufactured by the Ural Automotive Plant in Russia. Ural is a mountain range near where the truck is manufactured. This is a still image from a Russian crash test where 6.5 kilograms of explosive were detonated to test the truck's integrity. The text refers to the overstimulation that may occur after a penile orgasm if motions are not slowed or stopped. The Ural truck, capable of withstanding heavy damage and still being able to run, is implied to enjoy the post-climax activity. However, when watching the footage this still is taken from, of the 2 tests the Russian army performed, the first truck managed to keep driving, but the second suffered catastrophic damage. So, proceed with caution, fellas. Esoteric Meme Breakdown, Episode 9. Guys literally only want one thing, and it's disgusting. $950,000 electric fish barrier. Electric fish barriers are becoming an extremely important tool in wildlife control, and believe it or not, $950,000 is on the low end of electric fish barrier cost. This is actually a very reasonable and prudent item to want. However, some taxpayers are skeptical of their out-of-pocket cost. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers are currently working on a barrier to stop invasive carp from reaching the Great Lakes via the Chicago River, with an estimated price tag in excess of $1 billion. However, given that the Great Lakes generate up to $40 billion in economic output per year, it is a small price to pay to keep an animal out that would absolutely devastate the lakes, with the carp outcompeting native fish and destroying the ecosystem's stability. Smaller scale fish barriers further downstream and in other places are an absolutely necessary step in maintaining not just the environment, but the economy. Esoteric Meme Breakdown, Episode 10. You can go out tonight, but that feet stayin' with me. This meme is not esoteric to the roughly 5% of people who have an attraction to feet, sometimes called foot partialism. People with this partialism can find Nikki's feet more attractive than her signature rear end, evidence that this meme was originally about her butt. Research is inconclusive on what causes attraction to feet. It is theorized that the areas in the brain that tell the body to be aroused by other body parts have a level of crosstalk with the feet. That is, the brain could be telling the body that it's looking at reproductive parts. However, this is very far from being proven correct via scientific consensus. The brain is so vastly complicated and misunderstood that this theory could be proven wrong as more neurological research is published. Other theories rely more on social aspects for the attraction, such as learned behavior or conditioning. Perhaps a person had a good experience with feet and now are more prone to liking feet in the future. This attraction could then be disseminated to others. Whatever the cause, people have been attracted to feet for thousands of years and don't seem like they're stopping anytime soon. Let me know what meme you'd like me to cover next.